Hello, it's Miriam here. I'm hoping that this is going to be clear. I'm just going to talk about cleaning glass, and there are a couple of ways that we can do that. If you have a look at this fibre here that comes in our living set, it's a Living Glove medium strong, and you can see that that has exactly the same fibre as here on our combi wiper. So this is what I use for my windows, but I want to explain to you about all the options that there are. Now, in the living zone, we have an ENJOfil in there, a wiping behind fibre, and you can see that that is considerably thinner, and I use that for doing just my glass panel doors on their own, just damp, where people have a slight finger touch. I don't need to do a really deep clean, I just need to get it done. And then this one, which is considerably thicker, that we sell with our combi wiper, because if you imagine trying to get all the way around your windows, it's going to have a lot more moisture. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is just show you internally what I would do on this glass using the glove and the living ENJOfil. That's the thinner of the two, just because they come in the same pack, so it makes sense. So I've just got my water bottle. I love this one. This is a pump bottle. It just gives you a little bit more whiz around the house rather than you filling up your spray bottle. I use that for my floors as well. So the living glove, I'm going to start with the ENJOtech side, the thicker of the sides, and just working all the way over my door. So you can see that will have, just with the moisture that's there, and now I'm going to start absorbing that with this medium side here. And what that does is just disperse the water droplets. All right. However, there's still quite a lot of moisture left there. Oh, someone's dog hair. And so I'm just going to finish off with the living ENJOfil. Okay, now that's just a case of going backwards and forwards. I don't need to dry it with an inch of its life, because if you remember, the ENJOfil always disperses the water droplets so it dries streak free. However, if you have a look, you can see even by that very small pane, there's already quite a lot of moisture on that ENJOfil. So if I was trying to use that for all my internal and external glass, obviously it's going to get saturated very, very quickly. So what I'm now going to do is pop outside and do the outside using my combi wiper, just so that you can see how that also works, and hopefully you'll have a good visual through the glass. Let's see. So you will have seen there that the blade does most of the action. If I stand away, you should be able to see that that's nice and streak free. The only thing that we're now seeing is the moisture on the inside that's still evaporating. But you can see there's no streaks on that. There's just a little bit of moisture that's left. And if I show you now the ENJOfil for that, obviously hardly any moisture on it at all, but also it feels really dry still, so I could get around the outside of all of the house with it. So I would say if it's just about your windows, then this is the business, all right? And this glove here is great for just doing spot cleans on your windows inside. I use that for the sparks above my kitchen sink, etc, etc. I don't necessarily want to get this bad boy out, but I just want to clean up. And remember, the thinner of the ENJOfils you can use on its own as well. Now, what do we do when we need to go up a bit higher? Because we can't necessarily reach all of our windows, says she, trying to see where she's stashed everything. Right, so, I do not know where I've put you, but I will find you soon. Right, first of all, you can extend your wiper a little bit by putting on this power grip. So all I did there, just in case you missed it, because it's just easy second nature, is I pushed the two ends here of my combi wiper, took the end off. I would then attach the handle, right, and pop the D-clip back through, and that just extends it a little bit. So that's great internally if I'm doing things like mirrored wardrobes, etc, etc, etc. And when I put this fibre, there's one for the bathroom as well, that means I can just reach right up the top for my backboard. Okay, however, sometimes we need even more than that. So I've just seen the other thing that I need. It's just over here, so I'll just go and get it. Okay, sorry about that little interlude. And so this one is called a twister, and what it does is it enables us, when we put the floor system on our pole, which also goes on our floor system, so all of ENJO's tools are interchangeable, it means that I can change the angle of it. Okay, so now if I do that and put my D-clip back through, let me just show you outside, because you'll be able to see it really obviously, how that might work. And it means that if I have patio doors or something like that, I can get right down to the bottom of them. So I'll just pop out again and show you how that would work. Okay, have all my gubbins. Okay, so brilliantly easy peasy. You can see how that one works too. And it just means that as I come all the way down to the ground, that my blade is not going to start going bing, 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 because I can come down in a smooth slope all the way. Now, ENJO also have changed some of their guidance recently as to how we can clean our windows really effectively. Now, because we're in the UK, our windows are generally much more grotty, but if I'm on the inside of my windows using my combi wiper, then we always used to advise you to wash this side, flip over, but actually internally what I can do, and if it's not very dirty, right, so let me show you here, I can actually wash and wipe at the same time. Exciting, isn't it? Right, so you can see how swift that's going to be. Externally, that's not really going to work for me, because I just need to be able to move the blade and move the fibre a little bit. But what I can also do is I can adjust the blade. So if you've got a patio door handle, I can just move that blade along and relock it over here, and that just means that I can come down and not hit my hand, so that's great. There are two sizes. This is 28 centimetre. Some people say, oh, I think I need the 16, but let me show you how small that is. So for some people, if you have a lot of glass panel doors, then it might be worth it, but for most of us, not so. You'll be surprised what the 28 centimetre fits in. But there's two little bits here that say push. You just push that, you can see that that is 16 centimetres. So it's exactly the same combi wiper. You don't need to buy two. What you can do is just buy the additional fibre and the additional channel for the smaller one. Okay, so lots of options there. Combi wiper that comes with the thicker Windows ENJOfil, and then we have the glove, and we also have the thinner ENJOfil, and now hopefully you can see lovely result, streak free on our glass. All right, it is just fantastic. It works every single time.